So I want to share with you today a story about a veteran and his encounter with a VSO. Now, as you may know, I have two friends that are actually the reason why I started this channel. One of them was because he gave over $6,000 that should have been in his pocket to get help with submitting his claims. Should never have happened, but it did. Next, my very good friend who I served in Iraq with, and he struggles. He has his mental health struggles. He gets frustrated very easily. He's very, it's very easy for him to become upset. And so when I take the time, or when I have taken the time to explain to him what is required, what is needed to submit claims to the VA, even before I even get to explain everything, he is already overwhelmed and he doesn't want to hear anything about it. However, after many years, because it's been close to 17 years since we were in Iraq, he has had difficulties in, you know, figuring out who's the VSO, making phone calls and trying to schedule appointments and that sort of thing. Well, after many attempts, he finally makes it to a VSO office. And here is the story that he recently shared with me. So I got to make it clear that my friend he can make cussing sound very cool. I mean, this guy is very unique guy to spend time with, and I spent many a times with him. And in fact, I would also go as far as giving him some credit for me to eventually go to college and get my degree. And in fact, today I have a master's degree, but I just remember the conversations that we had and his his words for me stuck. So I know he has helped me in my life, and so I have once again, as my good friend, want to help him as well. Well, he gets to finally to a VSO office at the time that it is open, because oftentimes, for many of you veterans out there, know that these office hours do not coincide with your average working person's time. So it just happens to be that way. Well, as my friend explains it to me, he went into the office and noticed somebody was working, but shortly after he walks in, he mentions that there was an older woman who was very well put together, very good looking older woman. And he perhaps was just thinking she was a veteran or worked there, but didn't really know, her reason for being there. However, he eventually speaks to the VSO, and after explaining what he was trying to do, he can notice the frustration from this VSO, and eventually this VSO told my friend uh, that honestly she was new, so she's a new VSO, and she really wasn't sure which form to fill out for him to be enrolled in the VA healthcare system. Now, mind you, this is what he shared with me. And why was that VSO there by herself or being a new VSO? I don't know. But she did mention that the person who is normally there, or the person who knows more than she does, was not there at the time. So she proceeded to say, "Hey, I'm going to go find out what form it is that you need. I'll be right back." Now, mind you, he was having this back and forth conversation with this lady, and eventually she just had to apologize and tell my friend that she was brand new, apologize that she was not able to help him there and then, but decided to go and figure out how she can best help him. While yet, while my friend was very frustrated, as you can imagine. If you know anybody like this, maybe perhaps yourself, where, I mean, he gets frustrated very easily and very upset very easily. So as soon as she mentioned that she was not, didn't know what form to fill out, that she was going to go find out, he can, he's getting frustrated. Well, this very well to do, this very put together woman who he explained was this older woman who looked very nice, and he explained to me that after the VSO went back to wherever she was going to get the information, this older woman put her hand on his shoulder and said, "Son, I'm so sorry that on the last day that you had put on a uniform, it would be the last day that the government would fuck you." And my good friend, as I mentioned, this guy can make he can make cussing sound very, very cool. I mean, this guy is just one of those guys, and he immediately just starts cracking up and tells this woman, "I so love you right now." And I just, it's incredible that this happened, meaning it's unfortunate. My good friend who's really trying to get this going for him, trying to get enrolled in the VA healthcare system. And I know that he's tried. I mean, he tells me, and he almost feels a little disappointed because I'm really trying to help him. And he finally makes it, and he just happened to notice, or this woman who happened to go into the office around the same time he went, and just that this person who would just make his day just by her word usage, and just by him noticing her as she walked in, but just, and the way she said it is exactly where I can imagine my friend saying the same exact thing, to where it's like he would say my name, and be, "Man, you thought that on the last day that you put on the uniform, that you finally were discharged, that this would be the last time you would be, treated this way, and that it would be so difficult." So I wanted to share this story with you because I know, and I've heard it before, all the stories out there about VSOs. Why was this VSO by herself? Why? I don't know, right? There's so many reasons that can possibly be. It would have probably been better that the office was closed until the person, well, I wouldn't say closed, because you could still take his name and information down, and then the next person who knows what to do can help him. But I know that there are many VSOs out there who should not be VSOs. And there are other VSOs who are incredible and passionate at what they do. I worked for two of them who were fighters, who knew the system, who knew the regs inside and out, and they had a passion and felt that it was their purpose to help veterans get the benefits that they have earned. So I wanted to, hey, maybe make your day by you hearing this story. Share this video, share this story with other veterans. And hey, we've got to help each other out. And this has got to change. This has to change to make it, it's got to be simpler for veterans. And in fact, I'll give you, if you've made it this far, I'm going to give you one tip, or not a tip. Well, it's a tip and hopefully a recommendation on how things can be improved. Now, the tip is, if you do any sort of traveling, be it plane tickets, car rental, hotels, if you don't know about it now, or if you don't know about it now, I want you to know about it. A website called American Forces Travel. And it is only for military veterans and people under the DOD or the DOW have access to this website. So if you go to American Forces Travel and you could put in the city, the plane, the hotel, whatever the dates that you need to put in there at the very beginning, right after you click submit, you're going to have to put in your last four, your birth date, and your last name in order to gain access to the website. Now, that's my tip. That's my tip for you if you don't already utilize the website. I use it often, and it's something that, well, I have used it many a times, and so I encourage you to check it out if you are in the event um, looking for plane, hotel, car rental, that sort of thing. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because whatever system they are using should be the same system that a veteran could go on and put in their last four, their birth date, and their last name, and sign up for VA healthcare system. Where when a veteran does fill out the form, they've got to provide their DD-214. And as veterans, we should know where our DD-214 is located. It's a very important document if you are a veteran, or certain that you are. It's a very important document, especially if you're going to want any benefits or anything that would help you in whatever you may be doing, whether it's getting a job, getting VA benefits. But I mention this because if that whatever system that website is using to verify you, like, you can go right now and just test it out. Pretend you're going to go somewhere for Christmas, put in the dates, stay in a hotel, or put in the city, put in the dates, how many adults, and click submit. And then it's going to take you to another page to where you have to put in whether you're going to use a DOD number or DOW number, a social, and then you put in that number, you put in your date of birth, and then your last name. And there it's going to know that you are a veteran or retired or part of the DOD, or the people who have access to it. It's not your everyday citizen. Whatever system they're using, that should be the system to log in. Of someone who has served in Iraq, a war veteran, they are able to verify. So it should not be difficult to get enrolled in the VA healthcare system. If that system knows you're a veteran, look, there can be a system as well. I know not all veterans get an honorable discharge, but it's going to allow you to get into the system. It should, right? So I'll leave it at that. Make this video shorter than my usual videos. But anyhow, I hope it brought a laugh I hope it brought some, a laugh. I hope that you'll share it, but also perhaps, start using American Forces Travel, or at least compare it to other websites that you might use. And then also, hey, this is a perfect example of a system that, hey, if they know that you are a veteran, it should not be difficult to get veterans enrolled, especially our war veterans. All right. So thank you for your support. Thank you for sharing this video, and check out these other videos here. If you are also in the process of submitting claims, or just want to know more information. All right. Thank you for your support, and thank you for watching.